Fishing for boat improvements? Well, you caught it right here at ShipShape TV.
You know, it is so exciting that you've decided to spend some of your valuable time with us right here at ShipShape TV. We've been teaching you how to speed up the working with fiberglass. We've gotten into ethanol, and now we're changing subjects on you again. We're going to talk about oxidation on fiberglass boats, and that leads us to our final expert guest. This is a very good friend of mine, Barry Berhoff. Hi, Barry.
Hey, John.
Great to see you again. Barry, you're an expert in boat care and boat cleaning and all of that. You're the president and CEO of Shurhold Industries. And a little while back, I was at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show with you, and we were teaching everybody how to wax and how to polish the boat with a special tool that you're offering. Could you show that to everybody again? Because what I need to do on this boat is I need to not wax it. I need to actually use some type of a rubbing compound, and I have to get that chalky oxidation off of my gel coat so that the boat is mirror, beautiful, shiny. Once again, I'm not going to do that with wax. What's the tool?
This is our dual action polisher, and this moves in a random orbit, so a novice can use it just like a pro would use a rotary and get a beautiful shine every time.
When you were teaching us how to wax the boat, with that tool, you had a foam pad. Could I see that?
Sure, this is the foam pad we were doing the waxing with.
Okay, can I use a foam pad when I'm using a rubbing compound, or is this not the tool of choice?
No, that foam pad is going to be eaten away by the rubbing compound. You need something more aggressive that can hold up to the rubbing compound, and that's why we have the wool pad on the tool today. And they just quickly interchange, and we got all set to go here.
Okay, so the fibers right here on the wool, this is the real trick in cutting off that oxidation.
Correct.
Okay, and literally the gel coat is disintegrating from the UV, salt, air, maybe jet fuel, you know, something like that landing on the boat. Okay, we've got to remove that, and we've got to get down into that beautiful shiny gel coat again. Now, a little while back, I was on our 28-foot Blue Water Project boat, and we were re-gel coating a dash, and one of my guys was actually using a product that you also make called Buff Magic to really make it shiny. Do you have any of that Buff Magic here?
Yep, sure do.
Because this is going to save you a lot of time. All right, and before we get into Buff Magic, okay, let's talk about traditional rubbing compounds. Traditional rubbing compounds, a rubbing compound is kind of like a creamy sandpaper, and they have different grits of it, okay? They have like coarse, medium, and fine. And traditionally, when you're rubbing out your fiberglass, you might have to compound it with 3 different compound agents, like a 600 grit compound, then maybe a 1200 grit compound, and then maybe like a 2000 or a 2400 grit. Because every time you're cutting into the boat, you're leaving those swirls, and you want to get it to a mirror finish. How is Buff Magic different?
Well, the aggregate in here is what we call a variable grit. And what happens is, as you work it with the buffer or by hand, that grit breaks in half and becomes half as rough or twice as fine. So like 600 to 1200, and then 1200 to 24, and 24 to 48 as you work it. So it's all those different compounds all in one as you work it.
So it's saving a tremendous amount of time, and it will bring it to a mirror finish, okay? Now, we're going to apply this with a paintbrush, all right? And your tool is a variable speed tool, and what setting do we set the polisher at when we are compounding a boat?
Compounding a boat, you want to be in the lower range, 1 to 3.
Okay.
I typically work in a 2 or a 3.
All right. And so we apply the compound down with a paintbrush, kind of in some X patterns, and we start on the 1, and we bring it up to a 2 or 3, and we work all the way around the inside of the boat, okay? Now, take a look at how the Boston Whaler looked like before we did the project, okay? This is what it looks like. Take a look at the difference, okay? This is absolutely amazing. But we're not still fully protected. We have to keep the UV, acid rain, salt from re-oxidizing the gel coat. We have to either wax it or put on a polish. What do you recommend?
Well, what we recommend is our Pro Polish. This is a polymer-based wax alternative. And what this does is it makes a chemical bond with the boat. You apply it the same way you would just like a wax, and then you wipe it right off. There's going to be no powder or cakiness coming off of it because all of it goes where it needs to be, right on the boat, to protect it from the UV, salt, and sun.
If somebody want to learn more about the tool, where to get it, if somebody want to learn more about Buff Magic, Pro Polish, any of the clean tools that you guys offer, please give us some direction.
All you got to do is come to our website, www.shurhold.com, and from there we have all the information about the different tools, links to places where you could buy it like West Marine or many other dealers throughout the country.
I think you understand why I brought this gentleman on the program. You are an incredible, valuable source for information. Thank you so much, my
Thank
friend.
you, John.
Hey, right now we need to take our last time out of the day, but keep it right here because when we come back, we're going to finish everything up. We'll get into it right after this.
Stay the course. ShipShape TV and its host, John Graviscus, will be back in a flash.